I spent years waiting for her to say she forgave me. But when the phone rang that night, it wasn't her voice anymore. I spent years waiting for her to say she forgave me. But when the phone rang that night, it wasn't her voice anymore. I remember staring at the ceiling, trying to silence the guilt gnawing at my heart. The clock blinked to 17 a.m., too late for anything good. My hands trembled when I picked up the phone. Mrs. Dave Torter's Tucker, a man's voice. I knew before he even said the words. My daughter, Emily, was gone. I sat there, frozen, clutching the phone against my chest like it could somehow bring her back. Memories flooded me. Her laughter, her anger, the way she used to call me Mama with that stubborn fire in her eyes. We hadn't spoken properly in 3 years. 3 years of silence, ended by 6 words I could barely hear. I'm sorry for your loss, ma'am. I wanted to scream, to tear down every wall around me. But all I did was sit there, swallowing every regret I thought I could fix. Tomorrow, only tomorrow, never came, and that was just the beginning. The days that followed were a blur. People came and went, casseroles, sympathy, cards, tearful hugs. But I barely registered any of it. I was too busy listening for a voice that would never call again. That's when I found her old notebook. It was stuffed under her bed, dusty and forgotten, or maybe hidden on purpose. The cover was cracked, corners curled from years of being handled. Inside, her handwriting sprawled across every page, messy, emotional, desperate, lists of things she wanted to say to me. Apologies she thought she owed, wounds she never healed, and anger, so much anger. You never listened. You chose your pride over me. You made me feel like a burden. Each word felt like a burden, a dagger, twisting deeper into a wound I didn't even know was bleeding. I thought I had time to fix things. I thought one day she'd walk through my door, arms crossed, stubborn as ever, and we'd fight it out, cry it out, heal, but time ran out. And as I sat there, a notebook trembling in my hands, one chilling thought gripped me. Might be bad. Emily had already given up on forgiving me long before that phone call. It was a Thursday, a regular, unremarkable day, until it wasn't. I had called Emily again, left another voicemail. Hey, Emily, it's Mom, just checking in. I love you, call me. No answer. Just like the 100 messages before. So when my phone buzzed that afternoon, my heart jumped, her name flashing on the screen. For a moment, hope bloomed, wild, reckless. But it wasn't Emily. It was her roommate, voice shaky, frantic. Mrs. Parker, I'm sorry, I found her. The world tilted sideways. I remember dropping the groceries, eggs shattered across the pavement, milk pooling around my feet. None of it mattered. Words mattered. Emily had been struggling, more than anyone knew, more than even I, her own mother, had seen. Depression, loneliness, guilt. All the things I thought were just phases she'd grow out of. They had wrapped around her, dragged her under. And I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Grief doesn't just break your heart. Sometimes it breaks your whole life apart. In the weeks after Emily's funeral, I lost everything. My job, I stopped showing up, answering calls. My apartment, the rent piled up while I sat in the dark, unable to move. Friends, they stopped reaching out after a while, not knowing what to say. Eventually, in my old rusted Chevy, I slept curled. Rusted Chevy, up in the back seat, wrapped in a blanket that smelled faintly of home. The nights were the hardest. The world would grow so quiet, so dark, and all I could hear were the echoes of all the things I would never get to say to her. Every morning, I wake up to the frost creeping along the inside of the windows, and for one beautiful, aching second, I forget that she was gone, that I was alone, but reality always came back. Brutal, unforgiving, would sit there, keys in my lap, wondering if there was even a point to starting the engine anymore. I thought I'd lost everything, until something or someone pulled me back. It happened on one of those frozen mornings. I was parked near an old church on the edge of town, trying to stay invisible. A gentle knock on the window startled me. An elderly woman, bundled in a heavy coat, stood there smiling, not pitying, just kind. She didn't ask questions. She just handed me a cup of coffee and a paper bag with a warm muffin inside. "You're not invisible," she said softly. "Not to me." I didn't know what to say. No one had really seen me in weeks. I broke down right there, sobbing into my frozen hands. Not just for Emily, but for all the parts of myself I had given up on, too. That tiny act of kindness, a coffee, a muffin, a few words, cracked something open inside me. Maybe the world hadn't completely forgotten me after all. Maybe there was still a sliver of life waiting somewhere beyond the grief. For the first time in what felt like forever, I wanted to keep breathing. It didn't happen all at once. There wasn't some grand moment of forgiveness or a final conversation that made things right. It was quiet. It was slow. One morning, sitting by the window of my tiny apartment, I realized anger anymore. Just sadness and a deep, quiet love. I didn't need an apology. I didn't need explanations. I chose to forgive, not because she asked for it, not because she deserved it, but because I needed to be free. Free from the weight of resentment. Free to remember love without bitterness. I forgave her. I forgave myself. Not out loud, not with words,